Okay, so equal sets. The definition is already there. Two sets, if I consider, and you can say that these two sets are equal if all the elements, you see, all the elements of A are contained in B, and all the elements of B are contained in A. I've given an example also there. So suppose A is equal to this set. Okay, this set contains 4 elements, and you have another set. This set contains 6 elements. Now, if you see, all the elements of A are in B. 2 is there in B, 4 is there in B, 5 is there in B, 9 is also there in B. Okay, also what you see is all the elements of B are also in A. If you see, 2 is in A, 9 is in A, 5 is in A, 4 is in A, 9 is in A. So all the elements of B are also in A, although the number of elements are different. But all the elements of A are in B, and all the elements of B are in A. So therefore we say that A is equal to B. So these two sets are equal. Okay. Next we come to the definition of empty sets or null sets. Okay, what is an empty or a null set? When a set which contains no element at all is called an empty or a null set. Okay. It is denoted by, suppose A is a null set, then you write this as A is equal to this, or mostly we write this as A is equal to this symbol. Okay. A is a null set. If A is equal to this, then we say that A is a null set. Okay, and I have given an example also there. Suppose if I have the set A and I've given this in set builder notation, X such that X is positive and X is also negative. Comma means and. Where X is not equal to 0. So what you see, can you think of any number which is positive and also negative at the same time? Except 0. Okay. So there is no number that is positive or negative at the same time. So therefore this set is a null set. Okay. Next, very important definition. Any question here till now?
No, sir.
The next definition is a very important definition, that of subsets. Now, what is a subset? Suppose I consider two sets A and B. Suppose I give you two sets. I will give you another set B. Okay, these two sets I give you. Now, what you see is that all the elements of B are in A. If you see, 2 is there in A, 2 is in B, and 2 is also in A. 16 is there, and 32 is there. That means all the elements of B are in A. Therefore, we say that B is a subset. This is a symbol that we give. B is a subset of A. Okay, but you see that all the elements of A are not in B. Therefore, A is not a subset of B. Okay, only B is a subset of A. This is the symbol which is called subset. In fact, this symbol is called the proper subset. B is a subset of A. But we will not go to a definition of proper subset. There is a small, very small difference between subset and proper subset. So we'll not get into the definition of proper subsets. In fact, subsets in general. In fact, we just leave it at, we say that it is a proper subset of A. B is a proper subset of A. Okay. So suppose if I give you a set, okay. So now considering your infinite sets, can we say that the set of natural numbers is a subset of the set of integers? Can we say yes or no? Can we say that the set of natural numbers is a subset of the set of integers? Anyone? Can we say that the set of integers is natural numbers is a subset of the set of integers? Can we say?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why? Because all the natural numbers are there in this are integers. So all the natural numbers must be contained in the set of integers. Because if you see, then the set of natural numbers is this set, right? And what is the set of integers? The set of integers starts with all the negative numbers till right. So what do you see here? You see that all the natural numbers are contained in the set of integers. So therefore, we can say this is true. That is, the set of natural numbers is a set of integers. Now, my next question is, can you say that the set of integers is a subset of the set of rational numbers? Can you say it is true or false? Can we say that the set of integers is the subset of the set of integers? Yes. All the integers are rational numbers, isn't it? Whatever integer you consider is a rational number. So this is also true, right? Okay. Can we say that the set of natural numbers is a subset of the set of rational numbers? Can we say? Yes, because all the natural numbers are also rational numbers. So therefore, this is also true. Okay, so remember all this. Next, we come to subsets is very important. Remember the definition of subsets. Next, we come to the next definition, which is that of overlapping sets or intersecting sets. Now, what do you mean by overlapping or intersecting sets? Overlapping sets means if you have two sets which have at least one element in common. Okay, so let us suppose that I have the set A is equal to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And if I have the set B is equal to up till 10. Okay. Can we say that A and B are overlapping? Yes, because you see what are the common elements between A and B? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. All these are common between A and B. So therefore we say that A and B are overlapping sets or intersecting sets because there is at least one element common between A and B. Okay. I give you another example. Suppose A is equal to and B is equal to. Are these two sets overlapping sets? Yes, these two are overlapping sets because if you see B is common to A and B. So even if I get one simple element as common between two sets, we can say that A and B are overlapping sets. Okay. So that there goes the definition of overlapping sets. Next, we come to a very important definition, which is that of disjoint sets. Now, what do you mean by disjoint sets? If two sets have no element in common, then they are called disjoint sets. Suppose I take the set A is equal to do they have any element in common? They don't have any element in common. So therefore, A and B are called disjoint sets. Okay. Next is universal set. Now, this is the understanding of universal set is also very important. Suppose if I'm considering three sets. and all these A, B, and C. Suppose three sets are there, A, B, and C, and all these three sets are subsets of a particular set. Then we say that the particular set is called the universal set. For example, the universal set is denoted by either by U or it is also denoted by Xi. Okay. Suppose I have and if I define the set A as, I define the set B as, and if I define the set C as, so what do you see? You see that A is a subset of Xi because all the elements of are there of A are there in the universal in this set Xi. Also, B is a subset of Xi and C is also a subset of Xi. So therefore, U or Xi is called the universal set. Okay. Let me give you another example. Suppose if I define Xi as students of MCES, students of your school, and if I define the set A as students of class 8, in MCES, I define the set B as students of class 9 in MCES and C as students of class 10 in MCES. Three sets I consider. What you see is that all the elements are there of A are in Xi, all the elements of B are in Xi, and all the elements of C are also in Xi. That means A is a subset of Xi, B is also a subset of Xi, and C is also a subset of Xi. So that means Xi is the universal set of A, B, and C. Is the concept of universal set clear, or any question you have? No question? Okay, then let's move to the next definition, which is that of complement set. Now, what do you mean by complement set? Suppose I give you a universal set. I give you another set A. Okay, complement of the set, and if I find you find the, if I ask you to find the complement of A. Okay, now what is this complement? Complement of a set is denoted by A dashed. Okay, A superscripted with a dashed. This is the complement of A. This complement set is nothing but all the elements that are not there in A. So you see that 2 is there in A. That means we cannot have 2 in A complement. That means we can have 1, we can have 4, and we can have 6. Because see, 2 cannot be a part of this complement, 3 cannot be a part of this complement, and 5 cannot be a part of this complement. So what are the elements left? 1, 4, and 6. So all the elements of the universal set from which you have removed all the elements of A, then you get the complement set of A. Okay. Let us take another example. Suppose I define Xi as the set of natural numbers. And if I define the set A as x such that x is an even number. Okay. Then what should be the complement of A? If my universal set consists of all the natural numbers, odd numbers, exactly. Because if my complement set, if my A set A consists of all the even numbers, and if my universal set is a set of all the natural numbers that is starting with 1, then what numbers remain if I remove all the even numbers from the universal set? Only the odd numbers remain.
So odd numbers.
So therefore, my complement will be x such that x is an odd number. Okay. So that is what is meant by complement. Fine. Next definition is that of cardinality of cardinal number of a set. The definition is very simple. The cardinality of a set is nothing but the number of elements that are there in a set. Okay. It is denoted by NA, or sometimes also denoted by card A. Okay. Both the symbols. Mostly we shall use this. So suppose if I give you a set, A is equal to so how many elements are there in the set? Although F is repeated twice, you see that, but you see that there are in total 6 elements. Doesn't mind how many elements are repeated. So therefore, the cardinality of this set, or the cardinal number of this set, is 6. Okay, because there are 6 elements in the set. So what is the cardinality of an empty set? Can anyone tell me? Cardinality of an empty set. How many elements are there in a null set? Anyone? A null set has no elements, right?
So 0, 0.
0. So therefore, cardinality of a null set has to be 0. Fine. So number of elements in a set is called the cardinal number or cardinality of a set. Next, equivalent sets. Now, what do you mean by equivalent sets? Two sets which have the same cardinal number are called equivalent sets. So that's an easy definition. Suppose if I give you two sets, 3, 4, 5, 3. I give you another set, okay? These two are sets. Um, now if you see that the cardinality of A, number of elements in A is 5. The cardinality of B is 5. Therefore, we say A and B are equivalent sets because their cardinalities are equal. We are equivalent sets. And how is it written? A equivalent to B. That is how we write equivalent sets. Okay. Okay, let's discuss the assignment questions now. So first one, you just have to state true or false. Set of even natural numbers less than 21 and the set of odd natural numbers less than 21 are equivalent sets. Let us suppose A is the set of even natural numbers. Then this is my set builder form. What should be in tabular form? What are the even natural numbers which are less than 21? Even natural numbers less than 21. Less than 21. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20.
18.
Right? So what is the cardinality of this set, or the cardinal number of this set? How many elements are there? 10 elements are there. And if I have another set B, x such that x is an odd natural number, less than 21. Okay. What are the elements here? All these are elements, right? So if you count, so how much is the cardinality of B? 10.
10, sir.
So you see that the cardinality of A is equal to cardinality of B. So can we say that they are equivalent? Yes. Hence your answer is true. Okay. The answer for the first one is true. Next one. B. E is the set X is a factor of 16. X such that X is a factor of 16. Okay. So what are the factors of 16? 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16.
16.
Again, F is given in set builder form. X is a factor of 20. Let us now write it in tabular form. What are the factors of 20? 1, 2, 4, 5,
4.
10 and 20. Right? These are the factors. So are these two sets equal? Is E equal to F? Can you tell me? Are all the elements of E in F? No, because if you see 10 is not there. So therefore we say E not equal to F. Right? So hence what is the answer? False. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Next question is the set A is equal to X such that X less than 20. X is an integer. X belongs to Z. It means X is an integer. That means all the integers less than 20. What are the integers that are less than 20? All the negative numbers till you reach -4, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and this will continue till 20. Right? This is the set in tabular form. This is a finite set. Is this a finite set? No, this is not a finite set because all these numbers here you're starting from minus infinity, isn't it? Can you count the number of elements that are there? You cannot count, isn't it? Therefore, A is an infinite set. Hence, what is the answer? Hence,
False, sir.
false. Okay. So that's it. I'll stop here for today.